Hello there, John here, the salon doctor. Want to talk to you about marketing and 2020. The 2020 season is so close, it's crazy. And really, we all know that by the time you get to maybe the second week of December, not a lot of people are working on their tanning business. They're working on family get-togethers and dinners and gifts and all that kind of thing. The real prep time for 2020 is right now. And if you're not doing it, you're making a huge mistake. Let me tell you, as a consultant for almost 30 years, I get crazy when people call me in January and February and say, I'd really like some help with my marketing or my HR or my EFT pricing or whatever. I love to help them. I've had, I think, 440 different tanning salon companies that I've worked with. Love to do it. I love this business. But please don't wait until January, February. As they say, the horse is out of the barn and he or she is running down the hill like you can't believe. So I'm glad that people are coming to me now. As a matter of fact, I've had many people coming to me just in the last 2 weeks. So what I want to talk to you about briefly today is thinking about your marketing for not only 2020, but maybe first about this fall. So we've got some great opportunities coming up. And one is, of course, we've got Halloween, which is a great spray time. I find that most of the spray packages or spray promotions work real well from about the 25th or 26th of October on. A lot of people, as you know, go to Halloween parties and Halloween events, and they like to look tan. I found out that they don't care what costume they're wearing as long as they're tan underneath. Anyway, that's a great time for tanning packages, and I wouldn't think about necessarily gouging people or getting every dollar you can out of spray tans. It might be a great way to introduce new clients to your salon. And of course, the big payoff is 2020. Now, beyond that comes up November. We have clients that make more money in a Black Friday week or Pink Wednesday week than they do the entire month of November, just in that 1 week. And this is one quick thing I want to talk to you about, because really, today I'm going to talk to you about community outreach marketing. But first, I'm going to talk about Black Friday, Black Wednesday. There are some folks that still think, and I don't know why, but they still think that I'll have a sale, I'll do it just on Wednesday. I'll call it Pink Wednesday. Good. Call it whatever you want to call it. Chartreuse Wednesday. I know pink, and it's great because it goes along with breast cancer and whatever. And I think it's a great idea. Or they want to call it Black Friday, but they think that's not a good way to go. What you want to do is have the entire week from Monday through Sunday of that week of either your pink, what you call your Pink Wednesday, or what you call your Black Friday. You want that entire week. What we have found out, what research has shown, the National Retail Federation, which is Target, Walmart, and Best Buy, and they all belong to, people have shopping cycles. But when you get to that Black Friday or Pink Wednesday week, they're not going to give up trying to go into Walmart or Best Buy to buy that special video game for a son or grandson, or that special doll or toy for a little girl. They're not going to give up that time to come and tan. They will, though, take advantage of your specials throughout the week. And you're going to see more of this coming from me in just a little bit here. But what I would offer is a BOGO sale. I'm not a real great advocate of BOGO sales, but I know it gives you immediate cash as long as you don't be overusing it, particularly in the peak season. But in that Pink Wednesday or Black Friday sale week, that's great to have a BOGO as long as you have an expiration. So I would do a BOGO on a 30-day package, a BOGO on sessions, a BOGO on lotion, but I would make sure that on the tanning, the UV, the 30-day or the sessions has an expiration date of the end of January 2020. That works beautifully, because if someone buys a 30-day package and they get another 30 free, at least you have them tanning to the end of January, which voila, puts them right in line to buy another package starting February 1st. And that's really when our peak season starts. Most people don't have giant blowups of revenue in January. It's kind of a recruiting time. Anyway, speaking of recruiting, what I want to talk to you today about is community outreach. Now, I'm going to come out in about another month or so with a suggestion, a marketing plan for the whole year of 2020. But I can tell you that I think where I've seen, particularly this last year, where people get into July, August, September, into those famous or infamous Jason months, they say, well, what do I do now to get traffic in the door? So I'm going to show you something called community outreach. We've used it with several clients. It works quite well. It gets some traffic in the door when you don't normally see it. So let's show you a little bit of that right now. And let me get a screen up here. Okay, so community outreach. And what this does is it allows you to get to certain segments of your community around your salon that are people that are special, that maybe don't always feel special, but you're going to give them a special deal. And if you see on the screen here, here's 5 suggestions. One is that we do something special about first responders, then educators, then the military, medical community, and there's also another one here I'll show you in just a minute. But these are special communities. Now you may come up with other segments of the community for you to outreach to, and the object here is to get them excited about your tanning salon and maybe get in there when you don't have as much business. So let's talk about what we're going to discuss here. So defining community outreach. Instead of waiting for people to come to you, you're putting out Facebook posts, Instagram, email, and you're putting it out there for people to circulate to each other. And a lot of these communities, these special segments of your communities are well connected. So you're going to want to pick out special select communities. I don't know that I would put out an email or Instagram or Facebook for all the pipe fitters of the world. You're obviously looking for a female demographic, and we'll talk about that in just a minute here. And of course, what will get their attention if you send something to them? Well, everybody likes something special, some kind of a reward, some kind of a thank you, if you will, for being that part of the community. And so the rewards that salons should expect for this campaign is that obviously you get some feet in the door, but you may also expand it to people that you have never gotten feet in the door. You may get it from your competition. And what you should do to integrate it into your marketing campaign, well, in a few weeks here, I'm going to send you a marketing campaign for 2020. I would do community outreach maybe during the early part of the peak season when you're trying to recruit, as I talked about before, and then maybe toward the end of the peak season. But then do it throughout those Jason months when you need traffic in the door. And if you're going to outreach to these certain segments of the community, I wouldn't do it just once. I would do those certain segments maybe 2 or 3 times during the year so they know that you haven't forgotten them. All right, so here's an example, and let's talk about these are first responders. And of course, first responders are very important, and there's a lot of things that you get out of it by reaching out to them. One is that you're a good community citizen, and that's always good because people do buy from good community citizens. It's excellent PR for you to go out with an offer to this community, in this case the first responders, and say, I've got something special for you on this particular weekend that is free tanning. Free tanning. Okay, now I'm going to do an expansion on this whole thing that I'm going to put in the vault, but this is just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. Now, it's an excellent way to spread the word, and there's a lot of reasons why it's an excellent way to spread the word. These are segments of the community that are in the public eye. They deserve attention and reward, and they really feed off it when you cater to them. So you want to have those communities or those segments of the community that have real networking opportunities. They have a real identity with their members. I was laughing before about pipe fitters. I think my father was a carpenter and plumber. I don't think he would have reached out to other carpenters and plumbers. But these that I'm showing about first responders, educators, medical, they do reach out to each other. They do talk to each other. They're often on common private Facebooks. This is the kind of thing that you want to take advantage of. And the strategy on doing this is very cheap. If it costs you some free tanning for a weekend, a couple tans for anyone that's a member of the medical community, the cost to you is nothing. Just think about that, the average amortized cost of a UV tan, somewhere between 40 and 80 cents. If that's what it costs for you to get in, that's pretty darn cheap. Also, I want to acquaint you with the concept called CCA, which is customer, yes, cost to customer acquisition. I learned this from the 5 years I was a divisional manager at Target stores. There is a cost to getting people into your retail establishment. Target, everybody figures that. They know that there's certain costs, so they have to offer certain deals. And so if you can get somebody to come in because they tan free and a UV tan free twice in a weekend that you've offered to their segment of the community, and it costs you 60 cents a piece. If it costs you $1.20 to get someone in your salon, it's very cheap. It's something you really should be doing. You need to get bodies in there. And you might end up with new customers and new revenues, and that's, of course, what we're hoping for. So here's some more examples. We talked about partners. Again, you can see first responders, educators, media and advertising. That's one that's one of my favorites, because if you get someone that is a news anchor, or you get somebody that is a reporter, they talk to each other, they put up on their Facebook, and there might be other marketing opportunities. Matter of fact, there are other marketing opportunities. When I go into the full-blown webinar on this, which will be up in probably about another 2 or 3 days, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. And of course, military personnel, medical, these are always all high integrated communities, but you may have some others that you come up with. These are all communities that talk to each other, communicate with each other within their communities, I should say. So it's something that you really should give some thought to. I've used this in, as I said earlier, in early January to recruit customers into salons. I've used it in late in the peak season, maybe May and June when you still want more traffic in there, and certainly throughout the Jason months. So I hope that this has helped you a little bit, that it's given you some inspiration of something extra that you can do. Again, if you want to, you can join the vault. I'd love to have you join the vault, and in there will be the full version of community outreach, giving you all of the statistics and why it works so well. And I hope that you have a good fall season, and that leads to a real good peak season. Thanks for watching this.